Hello YouTubers, my name is Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council, and this is Infernity combo guide that you guys had requested. And obviously I was a little bit distracted with the Council Network, setting up some dates and actually getting content out to you guys daily, that I kind of forgot about this and got it on the back burner. But you know what, it's here. That's the main thing. We got dual videos out, and I just wanted to make sure other things were, taken care of first. So the center focus of the deck is the Infernity Archfiend, and yes, it's limited. So we're going to talk about the weaknesses and how to counteract those weaknesses and how to build up into the combos that we will be featuring here. So I'm going to randomly shuffle the deck to actually give example hands of what you'll be playing as. Now, keep in mind, the two monsters you primarily always want to bring out when you bring out Synchros are going to be Void Ogre and Stardust first. Mainly why is because these two will protect your field. And your field's very, very crucial to protect, because something like Red Geki or Dark Hole, or even Torrential Tribute, or one of the other 30 cards can easily take it out. So primarily I like to bring out Void Ogre Dragon first, and then bring out Stardust for utilization purposes. So if they play something destructive, I can counteract it. If they play something with spells or traps I don't want them having, I could play into the Void Ogre Dragon. Now, the deck doesn't play super aggressive, it plays kind of passive because of the fact of the limitations that the deck has suffered from. But as you can see, opening hand, I'm seeing a lot of spells and traps. I don't run a lot of monsters, so that's pretty much what you're always going to see. So say we go second. Going second seems to pay off. So obviously the first thing you always want to put in the graveyard, even though this is a limited card, you can make an example that this would be Dark Ref or whatever, you have another dark monster. The first thing you always want in the graveyard or onto your field is Infernity Archfiend. He uses the centerfold of the Infernities to actually get everything going. So I did a shuffle and a cut. And obviously you want to set everything that you have face down prior to ever bring him back. That's always going to be a thing. So you want to make sure you have your 5 set down. I'm just going to make sure we are completely in shot here. There's a Call the Haunted, a Soul Charge, an Infusion, Upstart, and a MST. These are all face down, mind you. Just imagine that. So I would not play Upstart right away, because if you play Upstart right away and you draw into a monster and you already wasted your summon, then you're not going to be able to do it. But in this case, it's okay to play the Upstart. And we get a Street Patrol. So we can summon out the Street Patrol. We can play the Instant Fusion. We're not playing Soul Charge just yet. We're not going to play it just yet. So what you always want to bring out, in this case, knowing it's not released yet, is Dark Flare Dragon. Now, if no one was released, I'd bring back the Archfiend and then utilize it from there. It'd be cool, it'd be sacky, but that's not today, right? So Dark Flare overlay with the Street Patrol. You can use any level 4, it doesn't really matter. I just use Dark Flare mainly because it's 1500 attack. If they bottomless it, I'd rather them bottomless that than this. If they bottomless this, I have to go into Leviair to get it back. So there's always something that I have planned to get them back. So Lava Old Chain, we're going to send Street Patrol. Always send Street Patrol first. I'm going to turn my graveyard so that way you can see it for yourself. And what we're going to send next is pretty obvious. Now, for those of you who don't know, pretty much where I want to send this guy. Now, you can send him, or you can send the... Where is he? Somewhere in here. There's only one copy in this whole deck, is the Infernity Avenger. I would only play the Avenger if I was going a little more aggressive. But in this case, I'm going to send the Necromancer, because I said the deck is pretty passive. So, at this point, these are still face down. We're going to flip up Soul Charge, and from Soul Charge, we're going to get the Necromancer. From Necromancer, since we're handless at this point, because you only want to pay the 1,000, but if you want to pay 2, you can bring out Street Patrol, and there's something we'll do there from there. So we bring out Street Patrol, fuck it, we go for 3, right? In this case, we go for 3. Why for 3? It's a big risk, but it's going to pay off, because this has not used its effect yet. When I use its effect, I'm going to put it face down just to, or you know what, better yet, when I use the effect, I'm going to go like that, so that way you know the effect is used. So I'm going to overlay the Street Patrol again with the Infernity Archfiend for another level of chain. This is primarily what you run to. So we're going to send the Archfiend to the graveyard. And from the Archfiend to the graveyard again, we're going to send a Avenger. So our graveyard's completely set up now. So this has not used its effect yet. We're going to cut our deck, even though it's kind of pointless to do right now. And we're going to get Archfiend again. Now, MST, Call the Haunted, or face down. I like to have something a little more protective. So we can go for Infernity Barrier at this point, because there's really no Infernity card I want to remove out of my graveyard here. So, and he's the only one in there that can be removed, and we don't want to remove him, so we're not going to go for a break yet. We're going to go for Barrier, so all our breaks become live at this point. So you have everything set, your opponent makes his turn. If they draw a Dark Hole, whatever, you can counter it. It's pretty much what you want to save this for. Take out some back row, whatever. Excuse me. Got the good sneezes. If they take out anything, like if they take out him, you don't want to bring that back, even though you can. If they take out him, you do want to bring that back. You don't want to bring it back as a level 3 tuner, because it's going to be pointless. The only reason you would do that is so you can play Call of the Haunted overlay to level year if this guy was banished, but that's not the case. So you could just argue that they take out one level old chain for the hell of it. Just for the relevancy of the video. I topped into another Insuffusion. Now the other Insuffusion currently is not used for that Nodin slot as much as I would want it to, because it's not released yet. We use it for Panzer Dragon. Panzer Dragon is just there to break stuff up that normally gets in the way of Infernities. Basically giant monsters they can't really jump over, or just back row, you know. So in this case we would set it. This hasn't used effect yet. We don't want to yet. We're going to send the Street Patrol to the graveyard and send another Street Patrol, or at this case it would be best to send the, not Armageddon Knight, but to send a Dark Greffer, because it's going to be really shitty of a draw. So we can just send them into the graveyard. It doesn't matter. Anything like that you don't need, just send them in there. And we're going to shuffle and then play Call of the Haunted from there to get Call of the Haunted. We're going to play Necromancer's effect, synchro all these guys together to avoid, then play Call on him, and then go from there. But that's just one example of getting into the combo. Now, not every hand is going to be super duper sacky where you can even make a play, and I will admit to that, and it's probably been shown in the dual videos a few times that that's, you know, that's a scenario that happens. So obviously we are keying in around 6 minutes right now, almost 7 now. But as you can see here, if we look at this for a minute and we analyze it, there's really no opening play there. And obviously most people would go, maybe I should just set Summoner Monk. No, you should keep Summoner Monk for the possibility of drawing into a spell card. So we're going to just set 3 and then set a Necromancer and wait. As stupid as it sounds to, you know, say just wait. It's got a 2000 body. Unless they have something to jump over it, it's going to be there. And you're going to draw into your next card to the Mirror Force. And you're going to draw into your next card. It's an MST. Finally, we can make our play and go from there. So sometimes you're going to be really, really slow on that, you know, whole thing. So that's why we're going to use our giant back row to stop our opponent from playing pretty much anything that we can. It's not the fastest deck in the world, but like I said in the video, it's supposed to be a fun deck. So in this case, excuse me, nostrils again. In this case, if we do not get stopped by Effect Villa or anything that is pretty much relevant at this point, we're going to go into the, where is he? Go into the Archfiend. Since we're handless, we get a card. In this case, looking at everything here, I don't know exactly what I would personally grab. I would probably grab an Infernity Break, but at the same time I can grab a launcher. So I'll grab a launcher just for the video's sake. Now, I put it face down, whatever, I keep it in my hand, doesn't matter at this point. Just matters that it's here, it's in front of you, these are still face down at this point, and we're going to overlay into a level old chain because he's a centerpiece to getting stuff into the graveyard. So we're going to use his effect, and we're going to obviously send a Avenger into the graveyard. From here, many of you know what's going to happen next. You get the Archfiend back. Archfiend's now going to search for something that you normally wouldn't search. You would search him, the Necromancer. Now why a Necromancer? Because then we flip this up, and I'm going to actually show this an example that these are all face down. We're going to flip this up, discard the Necromancer with the Infernity Launcher's effect, utilize the Launcher's effect to bring back Necromancer and Avenger. At this point, there's a lot we can do, but I like to just go into a Void Dragon at this place in time, because it's the safest fucking thing to do. And then from there, we're going to use this guy's effect again. Archfiend's going to get another search, and this time I think the search we're going to go for is the Infernity Barrier. So at this point in time, and you see I did this all off with Summoner Monk, which is hilarious, and Necromancer. You're going to play the Call of the Haunted, well, you're going to finally play the Call of the Haunted. I would hope that you would want to play the Call of the Haunted, and we're going to basically just sync for these guys. Now here, you have an option. You can go into Scrap Dragon, right? You can go into Scrap Dragon, pop this, pop a monster. Or you can go to Stardust to protect your setup, or you can go to BLs for like massive beatdown protection for itself, or you can do the really smart play and go Infernity Doom Dragon. Now, Infernity do drag, it'll pop a monster and any stop spell, so that way you don't have to worry about it. You're dealing with front and back. And the reason I say that is because Barrier now becomes live, which now makes Break completely alive, and you have Vanity's Emptiness as well. So you can pretty much lock out your opponent. You have Mirror Force just in case they feel like attacking into you. So at this scenario, we look at the graveyard and we say, alright, if I want to use my Infernity Break, what can I banish out? I can banish out my Launcher there, because Launcher's not going to be played any part of the game. My apologies again. So Infernity Break will allow me to break up any Vanity's play, any monster they want to play, anything like that on their turn. So like if they bring out Nodin and try to go for rank 4, I can deal with it before they can do anything. Barrier allows me to stop another card that, say Warding whatever, or Void Ogre Dragon can't, you can only hit the one. So those two cards can be played like that, and Vanity's Emptiness to lock them out. Because at this point when I draw, I don't have to really worry about anything being sent to my graveyard. I've actually had this in a dual video where you pop and you do the lock and then they can't do shit about it. As long as you don't use the chains effect. If you use Lava Low chains effect, well then it's going to be a different case in the scenario, right? So I'm just going to point this out. I'm going to shuffle one last time to see if we can get another crap hand and how to play out of that. And if there's any more questions, you guys can go straight into the comment section. Just ask me right away. And if I forget to, please remind me to link the deck profile in the comment section for you guys to see. Now, why in the comment section, not the description? Because the comment section is just a lot less cluttered. Because the description section has all the Council Network, and network, basically everything. It has all our channels and whatnot, so that's mainly why. Street Patrol, Dark Grepher, Instant Fusion, Necromancer, and a Bottomless. I can open so broke with this. So I'm going first. Effect Veiler doesn't exist in my world, in my happy world. And I'm going to play the Dark Grepher to use Street Patrol's effect to send the... Yeah, I mean, this hand is just, like, so good. So good. I'm going to sound so dumb when I say so good, but it's true. And we're going to send the Archfiend. This is why I run 2 Greffers, because when you... Some people like to run 2 Armageddonites, that's cool, but the reason I run 2 Greffs is because opening hands, you don't want that many Darks, and it's just easier to send them. So, something to keep in mind. So at this point, I use my normal summon up, and have an Instant Fusion and a Necromancer to use. I can use the Street Patrol in my graveyard to use the Necromancer in my hands to place them on the field. And then all I have to do is set the Instant Fusion and run back that. Right? Yeah, it's pretty simple. Let's do that. That sounds like an idea. Now I'm going to get a search effect. When I get a search effect, I want to go ham. Why do I want to go fucking ham so early, you may be saying? Well, because it's Infernities. If you go ham early and you lock your opponent out from resources or anything that they can do game-wise, then they're not going to be able to stage a comeback. If they're not able to stage a comeback, you pretty much can win the game from there. Now, a lot of the meta decks have really easy outs to this whole thing. I'm not denying that. But like I said, for the lower tier decks, this is really fun. So we're going to overlay into a Lava Old Chain. We have a Necromancer in hand. That's in hand. Just keep in mind, that's in hand. And we're going to send the Archfiend in the graveyard one more time. And from there, we're going to send our second Street Patrol into the graveyard. Now, we can use that second Street Patrol's effect to get the Necromancer, to get the Archfiend. We still have yet to use Instant Fusion. And then from there, we can grab a Launcher. Now, some of you are instantly going, uh-oh. He's grabbing Launcher. When you grab Launcher, it's like having Soul Charge. Soul Charge is better than Launcher by miles, but I'm going to set that on the board too. It's better by miles. I'm just going to play it because I think most of you understand where this is going now. You go into the Instant Fusion 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's clear. There's 5 monsters on the board. And we're going to overlay into the second level Old Chain. Now, at this point, if I wasn't going first, I can go to Direwolf and get the same result. But not completely the same result, but you know what? It would still work out. So we're going to send that Archfiend to the graveyard again. Because I like having Archfiend in the fucking graveyard. I just do. Then we're going to overlay into Levier, which is not in this pile. It's in this pile. Same extra deck, just examples. So I just kind of mixed that up, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, so that's our graveyard there. This is banished, and we're going to bring back Street Patrol. I would end on this note only because there's not enough room to make the Void Ogre Dragon. So if you get Darkhold Raigeki, cool. If not, oh my god, the fun time. So you have Banlist to use, you know, just get their monster off the board, whatever. And then say if it remains on the field. Alright, we have Upstart. Let's set Upstart down. Let's use both Chains effects. I'm just going to do this to save a little bit of time here. And what we're actually going to send to the graveyard is going to be quite funny. We're going to send a Foolish Burial and a Dark Refer. And the only reason is because at this point, both of those cards are pretty much fucking useless. We're going to use Levier's effect to bring back the other Street Patrol. This is hypothetically saying that they didn't attack into anything, you know, just... even if they attacked into a level chain, it did not matter. If they attack into the Levier, then it did matter. But again, this is just example to show you where the combos could go. So then we overlay into the Direwolf. Now, this is the one thing I really wanted to talk about in this video was Direwolf. We can use Direwolf's effect to target itself, to target Levier or level chain, doesn't matter. What this actually does is clears up the board for you, just a little bit. So like I said, if they take out level chain, cool, you know? It's no sweat off my back. As long as they can take out that fucking Levier. Launcher, you know what Launcher does? It gets you back this. It gets you back, if there's, you know, 4 slots open, we're going to go for both. Get both. And then we're going to use his effect to get a break. And the reason for a break, like I said, is because of our friend Void Ogre Dragon needs us to be motherfucking handless. So motherfucking handless it is. We go for the Void. Flip up the Upstart. Draw 1. I got good. Now I can protect this. I can protect it real good. MST got no thing on me, but if they want an MST, I don't really care if they want an MST. So on my following turn, I draw into a Call of the Haunted, more setup in their face, and you gotta keep in mind, I can bring back Archfiend, and when I bring back Archfiend onto my board, then I can use him again to either get a barrier or a break. So what breaks allow you to do, it's pretty much like having, prime example, is like having a Fire Fist Bearer on the board, where you could pretty much, instead of just popping monsters, you could pop back row. So it's like having more MSTs than you know what to do with. It's lovely of a thing. The thing we remember what break is, all you really need in the graveyard is a barrier or a launcher or another break to utilize the breaks. And then you can just constantly banish out breaks for breaks. It's just hilarious. You just let one resolve and do the next. So I think that covers everything in the video. That the major combos. If there's anything else, it'll be featured in dual videos, and we'll go from there. And then anything like that, you just let me know. For anyone wondering, these 4 here, these are utilization rank 4s. A little bit of finish burn, get shit off the field, make a comeback. That's pretty much all they're used for. These guys we talked about. Anything else, you could just axe here. You can axe on the deck profile itself. But for that, I'm Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. I hope you enjoyed this Infernity combo guide. And like I said, in case I forget to post the deck profile down below in the link, please remind me so I could do that for you guys. And thank you for supporting the channel and keeping it going. And I'll see you on the next one. Rate, comment, subscribe. See you later. Peace.